And me, I was not good. I wasn't interested by the school. I don't understand why we learn something at school. So I came to Taiwan with nothing at this time. I don't want to do this. It's a job for women. My life in Taiwan is a story of women. If you want to make opportunities, don't stay in your sofa. Don't stay at home scrolling TikTok or watching Netflix. I was very depressive at this time. I could consider myself like a homeless because in fact I had nowhere to go.
Hi， 大家好，欢迎来 Welcome to Taiwan。今天我们跑出到内湖跟一个法国的很大的 chef 聊天，他是
我是 Michel， 大家好。
Mr. Bro, he owns a food catering company, that's a kitchen for the future. So， 影片开始以前，请不要忘记帮我们订阅、按赞、开始扫频道。谢谢大家。
I am Michel Bru. I am in Taiwan for 7 years now. I have a company of food catering, and also I'm a member of a board of directors in the French Chamber.
Why do you choose to come to Taiwan?
It's a long story. I started to cook, to be a chef when I was 16. So I started in France. So I'm French. I think I didn't say it, but I'm French. When I was young, I was very bad at school. I was not too good. I wasn't interested by school, you know. And me, I was not good. I wasn't interested by the school. I don't understand why we learn something at school. It's not useful in your life. Because I'm manual. I like to do those things. I don't like to be behind a desk. But I was not immediately interested by the job of a chef because at this time I was thinking it was a job for women. Because my opinion was this, because my mom was a chef. So I said, but no, I don't want to do this. It's a job for women. And my mom and my dad said, are you joking? Are you joking? Most of the people working in restaurants are men. It's not a woman. So immediately, maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes after they said this, I said, okay, I want to do this. So I started an apprenticeship in France in 1998. So I learned cooking. I learned also about the pastry. And in 2009, I decided to find a new challenge, and I went to the United Kingdom. I was there for 5 years, and in this castle, we used to cook for some people like we had the French president, we had some singer like Paul McCartney, we had the Prince Albert of Monaco, we had some very, very rich and famous people. When you work with private customers, they don't care about the cost, they don't care about the price, they just say, well, we like this, we don't like this, just make a menu for them. And it's really what I like. We could use some of the best production we could find. When I was in Orkney, it was about some beautiful scallops. It was big like this, the scallop. For the customer, you used to give only one. It was enough on the plate. Or you had some beautiful lobsters. It was amazing to work with some very beautiful ingredients. So for 5 years, it was time for me to find a new thing, and I decided to become a private chef. I built my own company, and my job was to go in people's home to make a dinner for them. So in 2007, I decided to stop everything in the UK. I was very depressive at this time, in 17. I couldn't work anymore. So I was really looking for something very different at this time, to change environment, to change the people around me, and I've always been attracted by the Asian culture. So for me, it was like making sense to go to Asia at this time, because Asia is very different from Europe. But why in Taiwan and not somewhere else? To be honest, I was attracted by Japan at the beginning, but Japan was pretty difficult about immigration. China, I was not very attracted by this at that time. So I had the option of Taiwan. Taiwan is perfect if you like the Chinese culture, but you don't really want to go in China. Taiwan was nice, and I had some friends before from Taiwan, so they told me a lot about the beautiful country they have. And I decided to go to Taiwan. So I came to Taiwan with nothing at this time. I decided just to go to Taiwan really with nothing. I didn't speak Chinese. I didn't really know where to go. I didn't have money. I had only $15,000. So I mean, and you have only $15,000, it's a very big risk. So the only plan I had before coming to Taiwan, I went on a website for people looking for helpers And I found someone on a website like this. He had an ecological farm in the Nantou, and he told me just, okay, come, I'll give you food, I'll give you a place where to stay, and that's it. And for me, it was just the most important was just how to arrive and go somewhere. The rest, I don't care, I will see when I will be there. Just when I arrived I remember was like a big challenge already, because I had no Wi-Fi when I arrived. I didn't know how to ask for the Wi-Fi, so I couldn't go on internet to check anything. It was like a fight with taxi people to try to explain where I wanted to go, but finally I could go there. I was on the top of a mountain with nothing around. You had the farm on the mountain and nothing around. You were 10 minutes, roughly 10 minutes driving from any place. And I met some other people from some other cultures. So I stayed in this area, in this place, only 10 days in fact. After I arrived, 2 or 3 days later, I met a French woman. She just came through Taiwan just for 1 month before going to another country. She was just a backpacker. And in fact, she offered to me, she said, I go around Taiwan, do you want to come with me? So I said, yes, of course. I want to go. It's like this, you create opportunities. If you want to make opportunities, don't stay in your sofa. Don't stay at home scrolling TikTok or watching Netflix. It's not like this you make opportunities. If you want to make opportunities, you need to move on. You need to do some things. This woman also was a backpacker. She didn't have too much money also. So try to save money as much as possible. So we used to do some couch surfing. In every city we went to visit, we used to contact some people on internet, some Taiwanese, and to invite ourselves, kind of, to their home. In the first place we stopped, in Taichung, we met a woman, and the woman told me, oh, you're a chef. Oh, that's amazing. I say, I want to open a restaurant, but I don't have, she said, I don't know. I'm not a professional, I don't know how to do. So she said, I have the money, you don't have the money, you have the skills, I don't have the skills. She said, when you're back from visiting Taiwan, come back to my place, you stay at my place, and just try to see how you can get a visa, try to see how we can do those things. But let's see how we can do business together. Just like that. We met this woman only 2 days. On the way to visit Taiwan, so for around 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we stopped in many places, but not only people's home. We even stayed, I remember, we sleep in a church. We sleep in a church, we sleep in a police station, we stayed in a temple also for 3 days. After we left Taidong, we decided to go to Hualien by bike. We used 5 days to do this, because it's 200 kilometers, so 40 kilometers a day. I could consider myself like a homeless, because in fact, I had nowhere to go. We are in Taiwan. Taiwan is pretty safe. So I mean, I don't care in Taiwan too much to sleep outside. I don't care to knock the door of the Taiwanese people. I don't care. We are in Taiwan. Still some risk, of course, but we are in Taiwan. And when we arrived before Hualien, 10 kilometers before Hualien, we saw a temple, a very beautiful temple. We have a woman speak English. She said, you're a foreigner. If you want to stay with us. She was very kind. She teach us about how to prepare the Chinese tea, the traditional Chinese tea. And she said, we are going to celebrate Buddha. Do you want to stay overnight? We said, of course, yes. Because it makes experience. It makes nice things. And you see, 5-6 years later, I still remember this with a smile. It's really nice. After, I went back to Taichung. We tried to do business with this woman. The problem was I'm a professional in what I do. I know my job. And it's difficult, to do business with people when they're not professional. So after only a few weeks, it didn't match very well. I could still stay at her home, so it was not a big rush. But at the same time, I met another woman, and my life in Taiwan is a story of women. I'm a French, and no, I'm joking, but it is a story of women. So I teach French to the son, but finally also at the mom. So we decided to be together at this time, and she asked me to help her to do business with her. We didn't match very, very well together. We decided to split, and on the day we split, I didn't know where to go. I left her home, her place, because I was living with her, with nowhere to go. I went on Facebook, I made a post on my Facebook, I said, okay, I'm Michel Brieux, I'm a chef. I don't know where to go. I'm in Taiwan. I have some skills. Is anyone can offer to me something? And a guy, and he told me, okay, if you want, stay at my home. You stay living with my wife and me and my son. And at night, when the door is closed, come to the restaurant and work in the restaurant. So I used to work in his restaurant every night after the restaurant was closed until early morning. And we did this for around 1 year. At the same time, a few days after I left my ex-girlfriend, I met the one who became my wife after. She helped me. She helped me about financial. She helped me about many things, and she helped me also to have some class in Chinese. So I went to the university to learn Chinese in Taichung. After my class, on the day we got married, to be honest, and and thanks to this, I could have my first IRC. I could have a student IRC. Because before this, like I said, I was not legal in Taiwan. So my way to stay in Taiwan at this time, every 3 months, I used to leave Taiwan and to come back. So it's what I did for maybe 1 year roughly, until I got my IRC as a student. So I became legal when I got married. But on the following day, so after we got married plus 1 day, I started my business. So when we got married, I decided to start an online business. So I made a website by myself to sell some products, to sell some French food. But at the same time also I was still working in a restaurant as a chef. When I was at this restaurant, one day I met 2 people also, one Philippine woman and one Taiwanese man, and they told me, oh, do you want to have your own restaurant? Do you want to do your own restaurant? I said, yes, of course I would like, but I don't have money. So when we started this restaurant, in fact, I didn't have the money I was promised, and I didn't have the staff I was said also. So on the day we opened, it was only with investors and their son to start the restaurant, and it has been a nightmare. We have opened the lunch only. So in fact, we opened a restaurant for only 1 service. Well, after this, I was just fed up. I was just fed up about all the work I could do in this restaurant. I was fed up about I have been cheated by these people. So I decided to do my own business. 2 weeks after I stopped this restaurant, another guy came to see me. He said, do you want to open a brasserie? But I said, no. I said, if you want to invest in my company, you are very welcome. And one day I have a customer, she told me, she said, I love your food. I would like your food every day. So she said, can you make a menu for me? And because the food we offer can be kept for the whole week. And after 1-2 weeks, I have some other friends, they told me, oh, it's really nice. Can you do it for us also? And we sold 1 box, 2 box, 3 box, 10 box, 15 box. So at this point, I was thinking, it's maybe a business to do. I didn't know at this time in the world, in some other countries, you have already some business like this. I didn't know. I was thinking I was maybe the only one. Seriously, I didn't know. So I didn't get any inspiration from anywhere. Inspiration. I was just following what my customer wants. Even now, we continue to improve the business from what the customers want. So I talked to my wife and I said, what do you think if you go to Taipei? I was in Taichung at this time. Because Taipei will be easier for me. It's more foreigners, the market will be bigger for me. We decided to move to Taipei, and we tried to start the business like this. I found a small place in Yonghe, very, very small place. It was 1 room divided in 3 with some walls. So, when you do business, when you sell a few boxes from your home, and when you have your own business with a business place, it's very different story. Because when you start to have a business place, you need to make more money. So to be honest, at the beginning it has been pretty difficult. So at the beginning I tried to make some lunchbox, for example. We started to make some lunchbox. I was discovering the job of entrepreneur also. And I made many mistakes. And it's like this I've learned a lot, I think. For 1 year, 1 year and a half, we didn't make money. We even lost a lot of money. And it's thanks to my wife we could survive about all of this time. So she put some money in the company. She helped to cover the loss. And in 2020, I got a new opportunity. I had the boss of he's a French. The boss of Artimart is a French because at this time I was French. It's not French anymore now. And he contacted me and he told me, "Do you want to come to Artimart to be a leader for the good food and the restaurants?" So for me, for 1 year and a half, it's been very difficult to run my own company. I was a little bit tired by this because I started to lose motivation because you start early, you finish late, you don't make money, you even lose money. I said, okay, but at the same time, I didn't stop my own company. I did this for 6 months, but during this time, so my wife used to manage the company by herself, and me, I used to go to the company only once a week on Sunday to cook. I used to cook the orders of the week. It has been pretty difficult for my wife, and but it has been the best thing could happen, in fact. I closed my company for 1 month, and for 1 month, I reorganized everything. It was only 15,000 a week, $90. Only 15,000. So it was nothing. 60,000 a month, nothing. But after 6 months of doing what I wanted, it was $500,000. $500,000 a month. From 60 to $500,000 in 6 months only. One big thing has a change in our company. We got a new opportunity. The new French school of Taipei, they contacted me to say, okay, we are going to open a new school. So when they said, can you be our food supplier for the school? I said, yes, we can. Even if we are not ready. But I already got a good reputation by this time. So we had these opportunities, and it has been a very game-changing, because at this time we used to have around 40, at the beginning, 40, 45 kids a day, but now it's 130 about this school. So it's really interesting in terms of business, and it's really good. And this has been the beginning for our company about B2B. Last year we made some meals for the Canadian school, for example. We made in some small American school also. So we got some opportunities about schools. And this is what I try to work on at this time. And so now our business do different things. We have still the B2B with the school, like I said. We are also starting B2B with a restaurant, with a coffee shop. My vision about the future is you're going to have some restaurant, but they will get the food from some central kitchen, from some dark kitchen. Because it's what we are now. We are a dark kitchen. People can't find us on the street, but they can find us from internet. In the future, some dark kitchen, some central kitchen will send the food to this restaurant, and they will need only to reheat the food. We offer some vacuum bag. We have some vacuum bag. Everything is separated. We have the meat, we have the vegetable, we have the starch. It's not together. Some people say, why you don't put together? Why? It's because of the B2B. And we have the B2C. So the B2C is some box we deliver once a week to our busy people, all at once in a box for the whole week. And everything is separated, so you can just eat what you want at the time you want. If you don't eat everything, you can just put in your freezer if you prefer, because the food is fresh. We make everything fresh. 100% of our vegetables are from Taiwan. 100%.
What are some of the restaurant etiquette differences in Taiwan compared to France?
In Taiwan, I didn't go to too many high restaurants. No, the big difference for me for the restaurants in Taiwan is about when they serve the food to you. In France, what we consider the politeness in France, we used to wait for everyone to have their own food before we start to eat, for example. In Taiwan, it's very common. If you are 4 people, you order 4 meals, the waiter will deliver you 1 meal. And 5 minutes later or 10 minutes later, you will have 1 or 2 more. In France, you don't do this. Because in France, you wait for everyone to have their own food to start your own food.
What do you have in France that you miss not having here in Taiwan?
Every French people I know, when they go to France, after they come back from France, they need to go on a diet. So no, I miss the food, to be honest, and also I miss the relationship with people. I mean, in France we are maybe a little bit more close from people. In Taiwan you have always a distance, especially if you don't know people so much. You have a distance. In France, we are a little bit more, I wouldn't say friendly, because Taiwanese are very friendly, but we are a little bit more close. I miss this this relation to others, little bit, yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to tell Taiwanese people?
You have struggled to meet me, but I want to say thank you very much for coming today and for doing this video.
Thank you very much for taking your time to watch this video. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them in the comment section below. And please don't forget to click that subscription button, like the video and share if you can. Thank you very much. And also, for Instagram, Facebook and website will be in the description below. You can go check them out. We have very, very delicious French cuisine recipes for you. Go check it out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.